everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another episode of our WWE 2K16 Universe Mode. This is our next episode of Monday Night Nitro, and as you can see, we're now only a couple of weeks away from our Payback pay-per-view, and it's starting to shape up quite nicely here on Nitro. We can sort of see at the bottom of the screen the matches we are working towards for that Payback pay-per-view, and I think they're going to be pretty damn good. Got Ollie Owens defending his championship against Brock Lesnar. Got Joe versus Punk, and of course, our television champion Hideo Itami defending against Tyson Kidd. But let's have a look how tonight is looking. We're going to start things off with, of course, our general manager Triple H, who, if you did watch last week's episode of Nitro, you will know that we had a few issues. And the game went a bit haywire, as it normally does, and it booked some really random matches. But Triple H actually lost last week and won as well, so trying to work off some of the ring rust. I think he defeated Brock Lesnar last week, actually. It was a massive victory for Triple H. Tonight he's going to be taking on Mark Henry. In match number 2, we promised this last week after the debut of Kenny Omega, after helping Matt and Nick Jackson pick up those tag team championships away from the tag team of Blake and Murphy. Tonight Kenny Omega makes his own debut as he takes on Stardust. We're going to see a rivalry match as Hideo Itami takes on Tyson Kidd, sort of a preview of what we're going to see at Payback. Next we've got a really random triple threat as Rusev, Diamond Dallas Page, and somehow Heath Slater got himself in there, no idea how. Next up, we have Samoa Joe taking on Kane. Interesting match, that one. We've got Kevin Owens taking on Ric Flair. Of course, Owens actually defeated Flair last week, and they're hoping to do the same here this evening. And our main event is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. Now, we are just going to watch 4 matches today, so we are going to skip this triple threat, which was won by Rusev. No big surprises there. We're going to skip Triple H versus Mark Henry, won by Triple H, and then I'm a little bit torn because I really want to watch Kenny Omega's debut, and I think we will, which means I think we'll skip Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. I'm sure we'll see this again in the future. This could be a pretty damn good feud for us to go ahead with, but I think for now, we'll probably skip this one because I'm sure we'll see Brock Lesnar at some point in one of our other matches, and it is Brock Lesnar who picks up the victory over Goldberg. So, we are going to be watching Kenny Omega versus Stardust, Hideo Itami versus Tyson Kidd, Samoa Joe versus Kane, and of course Kevin Owens versus Ric Flair. So let's get straight into our first match. And here we go, like I said, our first match is going to be the debuting Kenny Omega with Matt Jackson taking on Stardust. And here we go. We're in Cleveland, Ohio here this evening for this episode. And there is the man we're all been looking forward to seeing the debut of course, that is Kenny Omega. Helped Bullet Club last week. Of course, Matt and Nick Jackson pick up the tag team championships after defeating Blake and Murphy. They brought in Omega really to sort of get rid of the Alexa Bliss factor, and it was very effective. And now Kenny Omega's getting the opportunity here this season to show exactly what he can do. And I think I did mention last week that I think this guy would be a fantastic person to have in and around the television championship sort of area. And I think next month he could potentially be someone who goes for that championship. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think I'm pushing Omega too hard, or do you think next month we can possibly give him the chance to go after that television championship? Another man I would like to see get an opportunity at a championship is this man right here, of course, Stardust. He did well for Triple H. Himself and Mark Henry, of course, picked up the victory in our very first pay-per-view, fully loaded, in that draft steel match, managing to steal Bayley away from Thunder and bring her over here to Nitro. And of course, she won the Women's Championship on Nitro in her debut evening. I don't think we've actually seen her since then. I keep mentioning every single week we'll have to try and get that Women's Championship defended at some point. It's been a while now, and I think maybe giving Alexa Bliss an opportunity to go for that championship would be a good idea. It's been, like I said, it's been a good 3 or 4 weeks since we've actually seen Bayley win that championship, and she's not been on the show since. But with the feuds we've been building up, it's not been really easy to get anybody else on the card, really. But I think next week maybe we can look at doing that. We can look at maybe having a championship women's match. Might be a good idea. So here we go, the debut of Kenny the Cleaner, Kenny Omega in Nitro as he takes on Stardust. And I'm sure Omega will be after a good victory here in his opening match. And I'm sure Matt Jackson at ringside will be trying to make that. So. We know what Bullet Club can be like as a group, and there is the potential to bring in more members into this as well. And obviously, one member is the newest member, of course, Adam Cole. I did have an idea of maybe bringing in Kingdom as a stable on one of the rosters, but now Adam Cole has joined up as one of the guys in Bullet Club, which I think is a fantastic idea. They couldn't have picked a better sort of wrestler if they tried. And that gives me the idea of potentially maybe bringing Adam Cole into this as well. And then maybe, who knows, maybe Kevin Owens could join them. That would be a pretty cool idea, wouldn't it? What do you guys think? Do you think a stable of the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Adam Cole and Kevin Owens, do you think that could survive here on Nitro? Do you think that would be a good idea as a Bullet Club stable? We could, of course, bring in other people like Adam Pearce, who's recently joined as well. Or yeah, I quite like that idea. I don't know what you guys think. I've got other plans for Tama Tonga and Tonga Roa. Tama Tonga and Tonga Roa. I think that's them. I always get confused with which one. Obviously, Tonga Roa is Camacho. Stardust now taking Kenny Omega over the top of his shoulders. A couple of big right hands. And another one as well. And so far, Stardust is showing some good strength here and controlling the early parts of this match. But Omega there with the back elbow now catching Stardust in that front chancery, bringing him into the middle of the ring. Scoops him up and slams him down. And again, trying to bring Stardust back up to his feet, but Stardust trips him. Stardust now bringing Omega back into the middle of the ring. There is a Russian leg sweep. Now Stardust bringing Omega into the middle of the ring, and it's not looking so good at the moment for Omega. We know these Bullet Club guys are very good at turning things around and managing to scrape the victory out of the least likely situations. But in this situation, I'm surprised. I would have thought that Kenny Omega on paper would be the stronger man in this match, but so far Stardust has done the majority of the aggression. However, Omega back in control now, spinning Stardust round. There's a backstabber, and I wonder if that's potentially going to be the beginning of the change in this match now, as Omega starting to pick apart Stardust. Now, of course, Kenny Omega is a great wrestler, and he's such a similar style to the likes of Brian Pillman. He's often been likened to Brian Pillman, as has Dean Ambrose as well, of course. Shoulder block there by Omega, and is kicking into the guts of Stardust as well. Omega bringing Stardust back up to his feet. Around the back, dragon suplex, bridges in for the pin. Could this be enough? 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count, but almost a victory there out of nowhere from Kenny Omega. As Omega now, as I said, it looks like he's turned this match around a little bit. Talking to turn it around, Stardust gets around the back of Kenny Omega and fights himself free. Front chancery knee to the face as well. Spinning kick to the gut. There's the pin there by Stardust. 1, 2. Oh, God, that was so close to a 3 count. Both guys back up to their feet. Stardust now with the front chancery. Has the grabber Omega's hair, puts him up against the ropes and now sends him over the top rope. Omega does hold on. And Stardust joins him out on the outside as well. Oh, spiked DDT on the apron. Wow, that is a very aggressive move by Stardust, and one that could potentially finish this match off. But Stardust is not looking to bring him back in and go for the pin. There's the running bulldog on the outside. Stardust now front chancery on Omega. Into that corner barricade, and Stardust is really... There's me before the match saying about how we should give Kenny Omega a championship shot, but a win here for Stardust, and you'd potentially fancy Stardust to be the #1 contender. Obviously, after the upcoming Payback pay-per-view with Kenny Omega, it still looks shaken. Referee counting, he's up to an 8 count or a 9. Does slide back in just before the referee berates him. But Stardust was there straight away with that drop kick, and surprised so far Matt Jackson hasn't got involved in this match. I have changed a lot of the the faces and heels. However, Kenny Omega is stalking Stardust, and there's the Michinoku driver holding it for the pin, and this could be enough. And it is. Omega had a very difficult match here. A lot more difficult than what I thought, than what he would have thought he was going to have to. But he does manage to come out on top of this match, obviously against Stardust, and I think that's a good one for him. That's a great debut. A pretty decent victory as well against an established member of this roster. We did consider maybe facing them off against Blake or facing them off against Murphy as sort of like a remnants of what happened last week, but I decided Stardust would be a good idea just to give him a proper test, and he's passed that test. They were flying colours, and like I said earlier on, potentially Kenny Omega going for that television championship up as against the winner at our pay-per-view between Hideo Itami and, of course, Tyson Kidd. That's what I'm looking for. So that's a pretty cool idea. I'm not 100% sure what that is called, actually. Is that Michinoku? It's not really Michinoku. It's close enough to a Michinoku driver. And a big victory here for Omega. Great debut, and so far, the Bullet Club guys have been absolutely incredible. Of course, the Young Bucks come in. They've won 3 matches in a row and become the Tag Team Championship holders. And now Kenny Omega comes in and wins his debut match as well. So, this stable really looks like they could potentially take over. Can you imagine what would happen if we did bring in Adam Cole and maybe even Kevin Owens, and the whole of Bullet Club could hold every single championship in the Nitro roster? And here is our next match. Talking of the television championship, it's going to be the champion Hideo Itami taking on the number 1 contender, Tyson Kidd. And here we go. I thought there was going to be a cutscene there for a second because there was a little bit of a strange loading screen, but evidently that was not to be the case. Looks like we are going to get the proper entrances. And there he is. The television champion defeated Neville at one of our recent pay-per-views, which was Fully Loaded, of course, to win that television championship. And he's held it ever since. Not had to defend it yet, though, I don't think. But Tyson Kidd is someone who's really emerged. He sort of forced himself in there, really. I think, if I remember correctly, I think Tyson Kidd actually attacked somebody. My memory's terrible. Where's my folder? Where's my folder? Is that my folder? So I've got plenty of folders going at the moment for the amount of recording I've been doing. Let me flick through and just double check. I'm sure Hideo Itami actually attacked someone a few weeks ago and forced his way into a match. What happened then? There we go, it was, yeah. Hideo Itami was due to face off against Alberto Del Rio. Tyson Kidd then attacked Del Rio as Del Rio was making his entrance and forced his way into the match. And talking of that man, here he is, Tyson Kidd. And interesting to see what might happen between Tyson Kidd and Del Rio. Maybe that could be a feud that we go with next month. Tyson Kidd obviously costing Del Rio that match last week. A match where you never know, Del Rio could have become the number 1 contender for that television championship. But Tyson forced his way in after that attack. And actually won the match against Hideo Itami as well. So he really took advantage of the situation. And I'm missing last week's sheet. I obviously haven't done one for last sheet. Okay. You see Hideo just not even budging out of the ring. Hideo wants to get a hold of Tyson Kidd once again. Kidd picked up the victory last week. Can Hideo make it 1-1? Or Tyson Kidd make it 2 victories in 2 weeks against the television champion? That would be a terrible situation for Hideo Itami to be in, because it would not fare very well going forward, considering he has to defend the television championship next week. Next weekend? Yeah, next weekend at Payback. Let's see how we get on. As Tyson Kidd is behind Hideo Itami. Belly to back slam. And Hideo just being thrown to the ground, by Tyson Kidd. And Tyson went for some strikes there, but missed the final one, the big impactful one. And now Hideo taking advantage, just stamping on the arm. And that's a clever move, because weakening the arm is also going to weaken any potential sharpshooter that Tyson Kidd can lock in. Hideo now sending Tyson over the top high. We know Tyson likes to fly, but not necessarily when he's being thrown like that. Hideo again now, front chancery on Tyson Kidd. Takes him over and a big strike to the back as well. And now Hideo. Ah, cheeky. Looked like he was going to go for a big move there and just jumps over the top and rakes his foot across the face of Tyson Kidd. And there's that discus forearm as well. Like I said, Hideo really needs to get a victory here and equal things up. Of course, Tyson picked up the victory last week, but I suppose Hideo Itami had trained to face off against Del Rio. Very, very different wrestling styles. Of course, Del Rio much more of a technical wrestler, likes to use his submission holds as well. Tyson Kidd a bit more of a high flyer. It's a very different style, and when you've planned your offense against one style, it's very difficult to change things around, and that might be one of the reasons why Tyson picked up the victory last week. However, it could just be that Tyson outdid Hideo. That's perfectly reasonable as well. It's a difficult situation to be in. Jawbreaker there by Hideo Itami. Spinning Tyson Kidd around, and once again, we've seen that quite a few times in this game. It's a bit of an odd way of doing it, and there's a Hurricanrana by Hideo Itami. Tyson Kidd now back up to his feet. Hideo with a clubbing blow across the back. Tyson with a big elbow of his own, and there's that spinning dropkick taking Hideo Itami down. Clubbing blow across the head of Hideo. Now Tyson rolls him over, stamping on the back of the knee. Blow across the back once again. Tyson Kidd dropkick to the side of the head of Hideo Itami. A very, very painful looking move. Hideo now bringing Tyson Kidd into the middle of the ring, takes him up. Sit out, powerbomb, high impact move there by Hideo Itami. And I was talking about recently one of my other videos about about bringing back the Cruiserweight Championship into the WWE, of course, in real life, and I think it's something they should really consider doing because they've got Epico Primo, they've got Sin Cara, they've got Kalisto, they've got Neville. You can use Sami Zayn. Hideo Itami again is another one of those guys that could potentially be a Cruiserweight Champion, and just because you're a Cruiserweight Champion doesn't necessarily mean it's a small title. I know it's one of the more mid-card championships, but it's a great way to elevate one of these other guys. And plus, a championship is only as good as the person that's holding it. Look, for example, at the United States Championship. Last year, it was being held by John Cena. Now it's being held by Kalisto. When it was being held by John Cena, it was at the top of most of the cards. It had some big feuds between, obviously, Cena and Rusev and people like that. And now it seems to have dropped down the pecking order. It was on the pre-show for WrestleMania. It's on the pre-show for the upcoming Extreme Rules pay-per-view, which I believe has happened. Has that happened? So I'm a little bit confused because I've just remembered that I'm recording this on Sunday, of course, to get it edited and uploaded for you Monday morning while I'm at work. And I believe Extreme Rules is actually on tonight, isn't it? Yes, it is on tonight. There we go. And I believe... Oh no, it's on the main card tonight, apparently. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin is on the pre-show, and Rusev versus Kalisto is on the main card. I hope that Rusev picks up the United States Championship, because I think Rusev is a top wrestler. I don't think he gets the opportunity that he really deserves. And I think, again, Rusev's another one that we can look at potentially going for the television championship. Maybe even going for the actual championship on Nitro as well. The only problem is that we've got such a great main event picture here. We've got, of course, at the moment, we've got Kevin Owens and Brock Lesnar fighting out for the championship. We've got Joe and Punk, we've got Shinsuke Nakamura. We've got some really big, big names. It's difficult to get other people in. There's that spinning neck breaker there by Tyson Kidd. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. Oh, almost a 2. Almost, it was a 2 count. Almost a 3 count, should I say. I think Extreme Rules should be quite good tonight, actually. Well, I say it should be quite good tonight. Obviously, you guys know what's happened already. And I might be completely wrong, but yeah, I think it should be quite a good match. Quite a good match. I think it should be quite a good pay-per-view, actually. There's some really good-looking matches on there. Tyson Kidd now clubbing blow across the back of Hideo Itami and a short DDT, slamming him face first into the apron. Now slamming the arm of Hideo Itami into the mat as well, going in for a pin. And again, it's very, very close to a 3 count. And Hideo Itami's looking rocked here. He's very much struggling. Snapmare by Hideo Itami. Now locking in that reverse chin lock. Wrenching back at Tyson Kidd. Kidd slowly getting back up to his feet though. Couple of big elbows into the gut of Hideo Itami. Snapmare. Now locking in that reverse chin lock once again. Just slowing the pace of the match down, which is quite a good thing really. Gives you a chance to regain some energy while sucking the energy out of your opponent. And this would be very, very bad for the confidence and the momentum of Hideo Itami if he loses a second match in a row to Tyson Kidd. It will also give Hideo Itami a cold streak in the Universe mode, which is a situation he does not want to be in. Especially when your opponent, Tyson Kidd, would actually be in a hot streak. So you really need to pick up a victory here, Hideo, just to equal this one out a little bit. Tyson struggling, Hideo stalking Tyson Kidd and trying to get up on the top rope, but the coding in this game is not very good. Maybe looking for that double foot stomp, and Tyson Kidd now catching Hideo Itami. Is very, very close to the ropes though, but it doesn't really matter when you pull someone into you like that. They can't reach the ropes because you've got a hold of their arm. But if Hideo can just reach across enough, then he'll break it, and the referee does ensure that Tyson Kidd breaks that hold. Jawbreaker now by Hideo Itami. Oh, we've seen this before. Hideo's picked up victories with this combination before. Kick to the chest. Another kick to the chest. And there's the spinning heel kick. In for the pin goes Hideo Itami. Could this be all 1, 2? Oh, and again, it's not quite enough. Both guys back up to their feet. And Hideo taking Tyson Kidd up onto his shoulders. We've seen this before. There's the GTS. And surely that's going to be enough for Hideo Itami to pick up the victory in this one. And sort of even this feud up a little bit. There we go. There's the 3 count. Well done, Hideo. That was a very, very important win. You see here just stalking Hideo. It's almost like a crossroads, isn't it, really? And that could have been enough, but again, it was only enough for the 2 count. It was a short DDT, vicious one, that one, sending Hideo face first into the mat. And slamming the arm in there as well, just trying to do as much damage as possible to the grounded Hideo Itami. But again, it wasn't enough to pick up the victory. And this striking combination, we've seen this pick up victories in the past for Hideo Itami, but it wasn't quite enough here. But it's fine because after he'd hit this, a lot of strikes. He went in for the pin. It was very, very close to a 3 count. As you can see there, like inches away. But once he's done that, of course, he has in his arsenal all saved up and ready to go as Tyson Kidd turns around straight up onto the shoulders of Hideo Itami. And we see the GTS. And we've still not seen Hideo hit on camera as of yet. He's hit it on a live show once. And the crowd went absolutely crazy. And I'm sure when he comes back, we'll see him hit that GTS again at some point. Great win here for Hideo Itami. And then evens this feud up, which we'll have a look at in a few seconds' time, just to see how it was all acting for both these guys. Like I say, Hideo clears off the opportunity of getting himself a cold streak with that win. And I think he's stopped Tyson Kidd in getting another hot streak. Whether he's already got one or not is a different story. But at least he's sort of stopped Tyson's momentum. Remember, these two guys will meet at Payback in a couple of weeks' time for that television championship. But until then, let's have a quick look at the rivalry update. And here is the rivalry update. New number one contender. Tyson Kidd has been named the new number one contender after a strong showing in a non-championship match against Hideo Itami. Bit of a random result considering last week Tyson Kidd picked up a victory over Hideo Itami. Or the week before, was it? It was the week before, actually. So yeah, I think he was a number one contender a while ago. But it looks like it's now been confirmed. So we are definitely going to see Hideo Itami versus Tyson Kidd at Payback for the television championship. So now Hideo Itami has actually gained himself a momentum boost, and he's already on a double hot streak as well, so he's doing pretty well. And Tyson Kidd, so far got no boosts at all, so that's not very good for him. But he is still he's gaining a bit of pridefulness as well. So it's looking pretty even. But based on those status effects, I'll probably say Hideo Itami must be the favourite for that Payback pay-per-view. And here is our next match of the evening. A little bit of a random one. It's going to be Samoa Joe taking on Kane. Of course, we do have a feud going on at the moment between Samoa Joe and CM Punk. So we'll potentially see CM Punk at some point during this match. And here we go. Looks like there's going to be no dirty tactics during the entrance as Samoa Joe making his way out right now. And this whole idea of having the match with Kane is very interesting, actually. It's a good way for Samoa Joe just to keep gaining momentum towards this Payback pay-per-view next week. Of course, it looks like it's going to be Joe versus Punk, which, as always, is going to be an incredible match. It always is. I wonder if there's any... I don't want to play with the feuds too much. I keep changing some of the matches at the pay-per-views because I want to move them around in order-wise, because I always want to have that draft match at match number 4 so we can do the second part of the video. But at the same time, it's... I don't really want to change them too much because I don't want to risk ruining any status effects that come out of winning that feud and that sort of stuff. So I would say, I think I've said this already in the past, whoever comes out on top of this Joe versus Punk feud at Payback, I'm going to name the number one contender for the Nitro Championship. So whoever wins this feud will go up against whoever wins the feud between, obviously, Brock Lesnar and Kevin Owens. So there's a lot riding on this feud for Joe and Punk. And we've said just how good this Nitro roster is. There's some fantastic, fantastic potential feuds we can break out. And here comes Kane. Good old retro Kane, walking like he's crapped himself as normal. But this could be a big match for Kane as well, potentially. If Kane can pick up a big victory here, who knows what could happen for him in the Universe mode. He can push forward a little bit and potentially... potentially he could force his way into the title picture somewhere. Maybe the television championship. I know I keep passing that one around quite a lot. Or maybe even the Nitro championship. Or at least a feud we could see with Kane. I'm not quite sure who would be good to feud against Kane. Maybe Triple H. We've seen many of feuds in the past between Triple H and Kane. Or maybe Kane can be someone we may look to maybe draft, swap out maybe to Thunder and reform the Brothers of Destruction. It's a possibility. There's lots of different potential for this Universe mode. Of course, if you have any ideas, then do drop them in the comment section below. I am always interested. And I do use quite a few of them, so if you do have any ideas, I'm well in for it. As Samoa Joe taking an early advantage in this match, taking Kane down with an arm drag. Arm drag? Headlock takedown, shall I say. Both guys crunching back up again as Kane gets behind Samoa Joe. Just squeezing the life out of him, but Joe breaks free now, gets behind Kane. Can he capitalise on this? He does with a, I was going to say German suplex, but it's not. It's almost like a belly to back slam, but he doesn't go down with me. Just literally just chucks him onto the floor like no one's business. Great suplex there by Samoa Joe. Big right hand by Joe now. Locks in the front chancery on Kane. Now there he is, now grabbing a hold of the arm and wrenching back at it. Kane struggling, but does fight free, of course. That's a clever move by Joe because he knows that Kane is a great striker, and of course he likes to utilise the choke slam as well. So by damaging the arm, it's going to reduce the chances those moves can be hit with full force. Joe now bringing Kane back up to his feet. And where is Kane? I haven't seen Kane in yonks. Well, he was at WrestleMania, wasn't he? He was part of the old Andre the Giant Battle Royal. But apart from that, you've not seen him in a very long time. Then again, I have not watched an episode of Raw or SmackDown properly for a long time either. I have currently got Sky Sports. I've got it for the summer, so I can watch Raw and SmackDown. But still, it's not really entertaining me that much at the moment. With the likes of Roman Reigns being at the top with the championship and AJ Styles and Gallows and Anderson sort of being buried by. I can not understand how the Usos have all of a sudden become this super team that are able to take out Gallows and Anderson like they have been. It's been quite insulting, really. Plus, with all the recording I do, I don't often get a lot of time to actually watch wrestling myself, really. Front Chantu by Kane, now bringing Samoa Joe out from the corner, twisting that arm and sending Joe down, now dropping a leg drop onto that arm as well. And now Kane working on the arms of Joe, and again, that's a very clever move as well. We know Joe likes to lock in that Coquina clutch, which of course, if you weaken the arms, he's not going to be able to get as good a grip on you. And of course, if he goes for the muscle buster, again, it's going to be more difficult if you've got a damaged arm to lock that one in. Joe with a big kick in the corner. We've seen him knock people out using that move in the past, of course, over in TNA. In for the pin, he goes on Kane. 1, 2. It's only enough for a 2 count. Joe needs to continue putting on these fantastic winning performances, though. It's the best way for him to move up and to continue to build the momentum towards facing off against CM Punk at Payback next weekend. Alley-oop there as well by Samoa Joe. Like I said earlier on, it's a big, big match at the pay-per-view. Whoever wins between Joe versus Punk will be claimed the #1 contender for the Nitro Championship. So we've got a potential for some really good feuds next month. It could be... oh, here's the Muscle Buster. And Joe does hit the Muscle Buster. Is that going to be enough to finish off Kane? It's going to be quite a convincing victory if it is. He has to bring him away from the ropes, surely. 2K, you'd work that a bit better. 1, 2... and 3, and there you go. It is a big, big victory by Samoa Joe over Kane. Quite convincing and easy as well, so good work by Samoa Joe in that one. As there is CM Punk on the top of the ramp, mouthing down to Samoa Joe at the bottom. Joe urging CM Punk to come and join him in the ring, but I think Punk's going to wait until Payback. And here is the rivalry update, and finally it looks like Samoa Joe has gained CM Punk as an enemy, and he's now on a hot streak as well after those 2 successive victories. So that's pretty good for Samoa Joe, and that's going to help him move forward to the pay-per-view, I believe. Kane has not really gained anything. He's become more prideful, respectful, and bold from that appearance, but apart from that, it's not good for him losing against Samoa Joe. And here is our final match of the episode. It is going to be our Nitro champion, Kevin Owens, taking on a guy he defeated a few weeks ago, Ric Flair. And, of course, Kevin Owens currently in a rivalry with Brock Lesnar, so it'll be interesting to see if Brock does show his face here. We did see Brock actually attack Kevin Owens a few weeks back after Owens' match against Ric Flair. Then Kevin Owens last week tried to get his own back on Brock Lesnar, and he did really. He came out here, distracted Brock Lesnar to a point which allowed Triple H to pick up the victory. So Kevin Owens really getting inside the head of Brock Lesnar. Of course, Brock has already fixed that this evening with a win over Goldberg, but still, Kevin Owens looks so good with that gold draped over his chest, doesn't he? He's already successfully defended that belt once against Shinsuke Nakamura, and he's been pretty damn unbeatable since this Universe mode started. He has already defeated Brock Lesnar in a singles match. He's defeated Ric Flair already once. He's defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. He won that Fatal 4-Way match to win the championship on the opening episode of Nitro, which of course featured Samoa Joe, CM Punk and Brock Lesnar. And of course he's got that big match coming up against Brock Lesnar at Payback in a couple of weeks' time for that Nitro Championship, which he holds up high right here now. And this man is just... this man has got to get the championship at some point in WWE, surely in real life. At the moment, he's sort of kept up in the Intercontinental Championship picture again, which is quite a good thing because I think he'll be a very, very good champion. I'm just worried that... Well, as I say, you guys are going to know what's happened by now, but I'm recording this on Sunday night, and I'm worried that The Miz is going to walk out of Extreme Rules with the championship. I'll be happy with anybody but The Miz winning that match. Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Owens, any one of those 3 guys walking out with the Intercontinental Championship would be fantastic. I wonder whether they might consider... Because is it SummerSlam next month, is it? It's normally in July, isn't it? Or is it August normally? But it'd be interesting to see if we did if Sami Zayn was to walk away with the championship, even Kevin Owens walk away with the Intercontinental Championship, then Sami Zayn maybe win it at SummerSlam. It's just sort of building up that feud all the way to its climax. It's been going on for, well, it's been going on since pre-WWE. Them two feuding together has just been something which has gone on forever, and it's such a good feud that it just translates fantastically well as it continues onwards. And Ric Flair here will be hoping that he can try and spice his career in this universe mode to life. Like I say, it's been difficult for him. He picked up a loss against Kevin Owens when they first fought a few weeks back, and I'm sure he'll be hoping that they can get a... oh, what have I done here? I don't want to be involved in this match. Go. There we go. I'm sure Ric Flair will be hoping if he can pick up a victory here, it might just thrust him into that title picture, at least give him a little bit more of a reputation and maybe an opportunity to maybe go for that number one contendership a little bit later on in the universe mode. But at the moment, that number one contendership is firmly held by Mr. Brock Lesnar. Oh, I've gone into Misters again. I got in this problem the other day when I was doing recordings. I can't remember what episode it was, but I kept calling everyone Mister. And it got my nerves eventually. I'm sure it got on your nerves as well. It is really warm here this evening. Trip there by Kevin Owens, taking Ric Flair down, and Flair is one of the most, well, he is the most successful wrestler in history, really. He's held the championship more than anybody else. Of course, I'm sure John Cena at some point will catch him up and overtake him. That's just inevitable. We know it's going to happen. So it'd be interesting to see if in our universe mode Ric Flair can get that one more championship match. Why not? As my computer goes absolutely crazy while I'm trying to record this. It's stuck in some sort of crazy thing going on here. What is going on? I can't see the screen anymore. Is it still going on? Yep, I've got it back now. I've got it back. Here we go. Flair now sending Owens over the top of his head, now pulling him back into the middle of the ring. My computer's done that a few times now. It just seems to flicker on and off for no apparent reason. It always seems to happen on the internet as well. Like, it's almost like it's stuck trying to scroll up or down. I don't quite know why it would do that for, but there you go. Oh, Brock Lesnar just storms into the ring and he's taking both of these guys out. Flattens Kevin Owens and Ric Flair, and this match is going to end in a... Is it going to end in a double DQ? It should do. The referee's allowing this one to continue on. Brock Lesnar just stood there and Kevin Owens is just trying to ignore him and continue on with the job of attacking Ric Flair, and I don't quite understand why the referee's not called this match off. As Brock Lesnar now just staring down as Kevin Owens just continuing the assault on Ric Flair. Referee's starting to count both these guys out now. This is... Wow. And unless this was a no DQ match, I didn't notice. But these both... if you're going to do something right, 2K, do it right, because that should have been a double DQ, in fairness. But now they're being counted out for some strange reason. Referee's up to a 5 count. Ric Flair slides back in as Brock Lesnar's just stood there in the ring. Flair now just staring down Brock Lesnar, and both these guys just completely ignoring that Brock Lesnar's there. There's the snapmare by Kevin Owens. This cutscene does not work, 2K, at all. The match should have just ended there and then. It should have ended with Brock Lesnar just standing over the body of Kevin Owens. That's what should have happened. It looks like Brock Lesnar's actually managing Ric Flair, but he's not managed to get outside the ring yet. Owens here, little moonsault off the middle rope. Great little move by Owens. And a kick as well to Ric Flair, now stomping on the chest of Flair. Owens now taking Flair up onto the shoulder, and there's that drop there, almost a bit like a white noise. Owens now bringing Flair back up to his feet and takes a little look across the Lesnar as he hits that package power driver. In for the pin goes Owens. 1, 2, and 3. Kevin Owens sends a message to Brock Lesnar there. Lesnar just staring Owens down after that match. Lesnar attacked Owens during the match. Both, and Ric Flair, of course, as well. And both Flair and Owens have just completely ignored Brock Lesnar and continued on with their match. And it ended up here. You see, look, Owens takes a look across to Lesnar as he hits that package pile driver and then pins him. Purposely puts his back towards Lesnar, saying, "You're nothing to me." And there is the victory. And Kevin Owens celebrates as Brock Lesnar leaves. Once again, Lesnar tried to get one over on Owens, and although he got a cheeky attack on him, Owens still managed to come out on top. And Lesnar's not happy with that. So, we still build up towards our Payback pay-per-view in a couple of weeks' time. We know it's going to be Owens defending the Nitro Championship against Lesnar. We know it's going to be Joe versus Punk. And we know it's going to be Hideo Itami defending that television championship against Tyson Kidd as well. So be sure to keep an eye out on this. We've got one more week's worth of build-up coming up for you next Monday. It's going to be a great one, I hope. We can really just build up the hype and really get ready for that Payback pay-per-view. Of course, that will be shared alongside Raw. So yeah, it's going to be a good one, that one. If you have enjoyed this video, then please do hit that like button. It does help me out a lot. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to subscribe for a lot more of this WWE 2K16 Universe mode. There will be a link in the description below to all of the 4 playlists where you can check out our Nitro, Raw, Thunder and SmackDown brands as well. Including SmackDown, we've currently been doing our Global Cruiserweight Championships. We've got 2 videos of that uploaded as well, so that's definitely worth a watch. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all tomorrow for Raw.